today each one will say something, maybe in 2 minutes, about his understanding of psychoanalysis and spirituality in the contemporary world. How he understands this issue in his own way.
My first thought is tiredness. I'm tired, and I think we are tired, and I believe we all are tired in the whole world, because we are losing our faith, losing our hope. We request love, but we also witness the failure of love every day. I think we have to go back to ask, what is the hope of faith, hope of love? And if we to find out the hope, we must to find out the faith. This is my conclusion.
Okay, thank you. Dr. Wong?
It is sometimes said that our advance in scientific reason has put us into a very difficult situation where the so-called needs of spirituality totally ignored. So when people come to either to see the therapist, to see the psychoanalyst, or to be religious, I think psychoanalysis and the religious believer can actually have a lot to learn from each other, as both of these people, the psychoanalyst and also the religious believer, both parties are actually learning about the depth of our inner reality, and they can have much to learn from the structure of irrationality. So far, I think that this is the direction that we can go in order to be more spiritual in the future.
Thank you, Dr. Wong. Dr. Diego?
Yeah, but before today I never really thought much about spirituality. It was, maybe it's obvious for you, for some, that spirituality is not religion. No, it was not obvious for me. For example, I found out that despite many religion wars, religion fight, there is a lot in common between the various spiritualities. No, every religion has some mysticism, some spirituality, and they are extremely similar. No, and I was surprised. If you think in this period of progress, modernism, science, hard science, no, the religion is descending, and there always been this opposition: science, rationality, and religion. No. But surprising, at least to my surprise, spirituality increased together with rationality and materialism. No, it means to me that they are two faces of the same coin, or at least spirituality, as this is understood, is a reaction to this kind of rationalism. No. If we negate some dimension, no, because we have some logic, no, for example, non-contradiction, or we have this idea of science, then these dimensions that are missing in this idea of modernity, they need to come back in some other form. For example, for spirituality. I think. So for me, it's not surprising that in this society, the extremely modernist and pragmatic, in the extremely pragmatic society, we have a return, an increase of spirituality. No, even in the lowest form, in the New Age, no, in the most simple. I think psychoanalysis is still maybe important, because in psychoanalysis we have both a criticism to a positivistic idea of science and to this representation of spirituality, because in the end psychoanalysis emphasizes the speech. The speech is what I tried to say before, no? The speech is before this division, this three partition, materialism, spirituality, no? Body, mind, etc. No? So I think it's very interesting. No? I think spirituality, love, faith, hope, these are dimensions that we should continue to explore. But still, I still think psychoanalysis maybe has something to say.
Thank you. Dr. John?
Friedrich Nietzsche claims that the God is dead. And 100 years after Erich Fromm claimed that human is dead. So we are living in a world full of collapsing meaningless. Spirituality is also losing its power in different schools of psychotherapy. Nowadays, psychotherapy already became an industry powered by insurance and fight against with drug industry. Even psychoanalysis is losing its influence across the globe because no one pays for that. Fewer and fewer people pay for this almost religious practice. One day, the artificial intelligence may do CBT. No worse than human. Even one day he can do psychoanalysis. No. So that when that day comes, we can see that yes, the Homo sapiens are already there. Spirituality is nothing. So I do appreciate our patients, our clients' courage to hold spirituality. I become a person with interest in spirituality from my patients. They are looking something beyond, for not only practical reasons or adaptive reasons. They become sick because they are honest. They have difficulties in lying to themselves. Our patients are the hope for Homo sapiens. I believe one day maybe every religion, include Buddhism, become some cultural relics. You can see those only in museums. But spirituality, I hope it may sustain as longer as possible to prove that we are still human. I think this is very meaningful for this dialogue, because through this dialogue, the Buddha's nature and the God manifest himself to us. That's all.
I think coming to 2017, we are in a time of terrorism, protectionism, racial discrimination, populism. We see many people, many nations live in fear and terror. And we try to protect ourselves, more like Melanie Klein's the paranoid schizoid position. We cannot hold the good and bad together. Is in the depressive position. It's very, very bad situation. So this is a fragmented world, and we found ourselves fragmented too. Many of the people that who come to see us, they are in distress. They lose contact with themselves. They don't know why they feel certain things, why they are troubled inside. By listening deeply, by journeying with them, we help them to restore that kind of connection with themselves. Hopefully restore their relationship with their loved ones, with their community, with the people who work with them. We are building up the scattered pieces, trying to weave them together. This is the psychoanalytic work. With me, the essence of spirituality is about making connections. Our connection with ourselves, our connection with our others, our connection with the surrounds, the nature, and ultimately with God. So I'm very grateful that sometimes I hear from my student or my clients saying that, you know what, I learned from the experience of being in the session with you, being in the lesson with you, because I learned how to imitate your skill of listening. Now I use that skill to listen to my family members. I use it to listening to my colleagues. So they are spreading this kind of attitude of not knowing, curiosity and compassion to other arenas of their life. I'm glad that we can do this small work. Yes, we should be very humble. This is very small work. But recently I read about Schindler's List, the movie, 希特勒的名单, Schindler's List. You know, Schindler was a German who rescued a lot of Jews in Auschwitz, and he has his factory and asked the Jews to come to work in his factory so that he could save those Jews. And those Jews were very grateful to his generosity and help, and they have very limited resources. They made the gold ring to him, and on the golden ring it carved the saying that when you save one person, you save the world. This is how Jewish people think. Yes, what we are doing here is very small, and I'm grateful that we have people from different countries today to present. People of different faiths come to share together. I think that we are on the same boat. We share some core values that we all concerned about the future of human being, the well-being of our next generations. So I'm so glad. I hope that we can all continue our good work, and I hope that in the future we can do more about this kind of work and spread our publication to more people. Last but not least, I need to give thanks to Professor Yao Wai-Ping for his generous help to us to provide this lovely place for us to have this conference. Thank you so much.